Okay, Buck, take it away.
Okay, is the camera held the right position?
Yeah, you could tip it up a little bit so we don't have to try to look under your hat. There we go.
Okay, what I was going to, the way I wrote this down, I already know the answer. I was saying, is Carol Wishart on the call? And she is. And then Charmaine is also from South Carolina. And I want to tell how I grew older every trip to South Carolina. Carol, if you're there, unmute and tell people how I grew 4 years older every time I went to South Carolina.
We took him for a birthday party because it's close enough to his birthday. We took him for birthday parties about every night to different restaurants. And we always told him to bring a cake and candles, and it's a big deal. Let's celebrate Buck. Well, he got older and older and older. We had a good time with all of that.
So we had four years in a, I would gain 4 years every time I went down there. I went down 8 times, so that's about 32 years.
Yeah,
and
he's 100 and something.
I don't think it was quite close to my birthday, but anyway, it works. So what I want to do now is I want to say something about the splash method. And Billy, your first one was gorgeous. I don't know what you did the second time, but it worked. Now, let me just turn the camera a minute. And I want to turn over, I hope, can you see that? That is the back, and I'm not talking about the palette, but to the right is silhouette. That is the back of a canvas. I have the canvas in the window drying, and actually it's on its end. The trees, which are horizontal here, are up above. So I look at that and I think, oh my gosh, I could make something out of that. So that's my thinking as I live in the art world. So we're going to go ahead now and look at the canvas. Let's see, right there. Oh, that's good. Thank you. You're welcome. Okay, it's time to show you again what the original looked like. Carol, did we ever do this down in South Carolina? Oh, about 32 years ago. Okay, so we'll push this back up. And then what I'm going to do is work on it. I've already put a little magic clear on the horse, kind of wiped it, but I thought maybe it'd flow a little better if I did that. And I'm going to start, I don't want to start on the horse. I want to start back behind. Oh gee, I brought this great brush with, and why are you over here in the reject pile? Okay, here's what I want to do before I go to the horse. I want to take a little bit of sap green and yellow ochre, that's equal parts, and I see the green behind the neck and the chin. I want to come down here. I guess maybe they don't call it a chin in horse language, but we just did. I want to put this in front so you can see the front of that horse a little bit better, and that helps. So let's let this one come down just a little lower. It's so nice to be able to see my model on the big screen in front of me. That's great. You want some back there? Yeah, I hadn't planned on it. Oh, here's a spot too, right there. I need to darken that, so I'm going to take a little Van Dyke brown. And so a lot of the mixtures I'll hold up and show you what I'm doing, but when it's just straight like that, and when the green and yellow ochre are equal parts, that's what I got out of it. Okay, so the other thing that I'm looking at is, I see a little hang down there. I'll take some sap green and just there, that's good, so it won't confuse with the leg. In front of the horse, I want the feeling like the water is coming down here rather than there. So we need to add something over there. Let's just try straight burn umber and see what happens. See, a little of the water that comes down there could actually be in there. So we're not wrong, but it was just a little too high here. And what about this? I'm going to just soften that a little bit. So our real interest is down near the head. All right, now we're ready to go ahead and put some color on the body of the horse. I'm taking, what are you taking? I'm taking 3 Van Dyke Brown, 1 alizarin crimson. I don't know if you got alizarin crimson out here yet. Oh, gee. Are you alizarin crimson? Would you please be alizarin crimson? You're alizarin crimson. It was under A. Oh, you're so funny, Buck. Okay, here's alizarin crimson and Van Dyke Brown. So I'm having 3 Van Dyke Brown and 1 alizarin crimson. That's what you have. Where are you going to put that? I don't know. Oh, this is the darks on the dark. So I'll put it on all the dark areas, and then I'll work into it a little bit because it'll be rather strong. I have a what are you? You're a bristle filbert? Oh, gee, I love the brush. Lori, don't ever quit doing the brushes. They're so nice, Carol. They really do the job, don't they, Lynn? Oh, there's so many people. Billy, Danielle, Sue, and Sue, and Sue. And as I put it on, I'm not real generous with it. As you can see, it's sort of scrubbed on. We did say there was some walnut oil on, but it's a very small amount. I really would prefer kind of doing like this a little bit towards what we call dry brush there. And I didn't quite go to the edge. Go closer to the edge, and then we can put a little light there. Oh, it'd be so nice to say hello to each of you, but I need to be careful. I'm going to forget somebody, and they'll say, well, you didn't mention me. Oh, there we are. There we are. A little bit. The little forelock, I think that's what they call it, hangs down there. So like this. All right, now once we have that on, then we want to come with 1 red and 1 Van Dyke Brown. Let's see where that is. Oops, get back up there. Here's the Van Dyke Brown, and here's red. I'm going to put 2 red in it. So you can see the difference between those two. This is the alizarin and Van Dyke Brown. This is the red and Van Dyke Brown. So we ended up with three red. And I wanted to put this on a few select places. Let's start on the, there must be a name for it, the jaw. Does that show? I'm going to put more red in that, probably because the wetness of the first color I put on. So I have now 4 red. Oh, that's just enough. See, it doesn't need much. And then we put a little bit in here. You can see it's a subtle thing. And then go to the next step right in here. It gives form to that neck. Can you see that subtlety? Yes, I can see it. I looked at the monitor. Okay, now as we come over on the one here, we'll go just a little bit on the edges. We'll come more on here, and here we're eventually going to go quite light. It has a couple patches, a little bit on the tummy. And what this does, it kind of separates the leg from the stomach. So we need to make sure, and I'll take some more of that alizarin crimson and Van Dyke brown, and just make sure that that edge is stronger, and it comes. Then see, by making it stronger, it does come in front of the stomach. Okay, going further with our red and umber, we'll put a little bit along here, just a little bit there. You don't see much there, but I need to come back, and I'm taking red. Let's see, let's take some red, and I don't know if I can quite go white. Oh, let's try a little bit. Brush mixed, one red, one white. And this will give me just a little, oh, perfect. You knew that, Buck, or you wouldn't have done it. Well, you can always make mistakes and you can always correct them. So you're never afraid of admitting them. It's only a mistake if it's left uncorrected. How about just a little red and white? Oh, yes. That's so helpful. It kind of builds out that hip. Okay, so I'm looking at now the gray, and what I have on the gray is 3 white, 1 Van Dyke brown. Here it is, 3 white, 1 Van Dyke brown. And I'm going to take and just put a little bit of this on. What this does, it doesn't really change it much. Maybe just a little extra white, so it changes it a little bit. And then I can work into it with the next color. So there's a purpose in this being wet. You can see the little difference. It has kind of a tan look to it. South Carolina, what a great place. Ugh. And we went to a baseball game there. I forget what the name of the team was, but they were a farm club of Boston Red Sox, my favorite team. Okay, we're coming over here. And it was a miniature Red Sox stadium. Thank you, Doug. That was really neat. I enjoyed that. They didn't ask me to throw out the first pitch or second or any others, but it was great. I've been writing recently. I thought I'd make a record of my experiences in baseball from Little League on up, and oh my gosh, tremendous experiences. I don't list that one. I list my playing ones. So this comes down just a little bit in there and a little bit in here. Come down just a little bit. See, we'll be going lighter on these areas, but this gives just a little something to blend into. Oh. Okay, now let's go lighter in there. And what I am saying, I'm going to bring this down just for a minute. Here's what I'm going to do next. I have burnt umber and white. Let's see, 1 burnt umber and 1 white. You see those little subtle lights? You know, I put my recent color on there, but only to make it wet, so it has something to blend into. Get back up there. Get in your own stall. Okay, so here's the equal parts burnt umber and white. It sounds like we have company. Or it's time for the dog to eat. Okay, a little bit here. And as we come over here, just a little bit in there. And down lower, You have a little in here. Buck loves animals. Oh, I married somebody who loves animals, that's for sure. And down here, right on the edge of that leg and right at the joint there. And let's come over to the back area. See, I'm still debating when I put the next light on. I don't think I'll go clear to the back like the original has it. Therefore, I'll have more of an idea of this being in the shadows. I kind of like that aspect. Use my magic brush. It's good to have non-toxic paints when you do use your fingers. Down there, and then down here. And this again, this merely becomes a little preparation for the lighter lights to go on it. Just a little bit of that far leg is seen under the tail there, and it comes down in here. What about the tail itself? Yes, we'll put just a little bit in there like that. Okay, so now we're ready for the highlights. Gee, this is great. We got a lot of time left, and that's excellent. While I'm there, I'm going to take some of the green that I put here and just a little bit there. It'll separate the ear from the background. Carol, is Doug still watching? Yeah, he is, but I had to leave. Okay, let's see. Here. Oh, I'm coming close there. That'll show the bottom of the head. And as I was telling when I think the first time I did this, I did it on television, and I had spent a week learning all the terms to call the jaw a muscle, a muzzle, and forelocks, and oh gee, must impressed nobody. Okay, now we'll come to the lightest lights on here. So what I have on that, 6 white and 1 yellow ochre. I have just a little dark in that mixture, so I'll take that away. Good. Next time when I do it, I'll take it away with a clean knife. Okay, let's see how that works. So we'll take this over because I kind of lost some. And 1 yellow ochre. That's not quite 1. There's 1. Okay. Oh, just a little pink wants to be in there. That's fine. Enjoy the trip. Okay, now as we put this light on, I'm going to start up here. And the question I have is, I'll let it go over here, but I don't know about in there. I kind of like the idea of it being in the shade a little bit. So I have that same favorite brush, the Badger brush. Now, the thing I have to realize here is, if I were to put my hand on the horse, this would be the fullness. So you think you make it real light at the top and blend down. That's partly true, but I need to have a good strong light in there, and then we'll just go up on the edge with some of this. Where did I see this horse? Oh, Sue, it was on the way to teach a class in Sacramento. It was up on the side of a hill, and I took a photograph. I had forgotten that. So that was a good trip. And I have a a slide projector, which is called a Kinderman. So the slide, you push it in, and it's a screen in front, so you can see the image on maybe 6x8 screen, and it can work. It can stay on all day, and this was used in trade shows where they'd have their little products, and the people could view it and be on all day. That was good. Okay, now here's where I'm looking, and I'm going to let this come, but not with any great quantity. In fact, that may be enough. I do want a little bit going out on the tail, so this would pick up just a little bit there. And just a little looseness coming down there. Boy, I need something. That space under the tail is too wide. So I'll take some sap green and umber, and I'll push this up so the tail at its origin is not that wide. Like that. Ooh, I wonder if any of my siblings are on. Gandhi or Tim, Lyle. I think Lyle said he was going to come on again Friday. So I'm going just a little bit more here.
Hey, Buck, your new adopted son, Tim, is on.
Oh, let's see, who's that? You're going to have to be a little more specific. Who's new adopted Tim?
The one you adopted last week.
Oh, welcome back. Notice what I'm doing there on the original. See how strong that light is? Because the light's coming from the right. But I'm making it come from above. Like that. And then let's take just a little more light. We have it there, and that's a nice feeling as it goes down. But I'll just sneak a little bit of looseness in it. Oh, that reminds me, I had planned to take just a little bit of the sap green and umber and come over here, because this spot was kind of distracting. It was taken away from the tail. I'm going to make this just a little. Oh, I was looking at the monitor and I thought, I'm not painting. What's happening? I guess I was shaking my hand up and down. It's new technology. You know, when I do my PBS shows, I'm not able to, or was I? I guess I was able to watch a little bit, but they kind of hesitated that because they thought I'd spend too much time looking at my monitor. And they were probably right. Okay, let's come over a little closer here. And then we'll blend that. Oh, dry brush. I didn't clean it, so it still had some of the yellowish gold tone on it. Let this come down. And this pushes over just a little bit there, a little fullness in that part of the body. I like that guy. He looks good. Okay, let's take and make just a little bit of a mane for him. The bell just rang. Does that mean time's up? It better not. Ugh. Okay, so I have a round brush, and I'm going to go. Let's do this first. Let's take and go the whole length, so we have something to aim at. And I need to go quite light there, for the simple reason that it's against the light of the sky. We might have to change something there, and it just happened. Okay, let's take a little bit of sap green straight, and I'll put this right on the edge there, with the idea that I'll blend that later. Okay, it's later. I put just a little bit of the yellow, what is it called? Ochre and white on the brush, so that when I touch it, it'll kind of melt it right in place. This will make it possible to have a good light on the mane. Oh, I love you. Now we'll bring this down, and it comes down, and it just has a little ones like that. Where are you getting those spots on you? Is that my other finger? Didn't I wash it? Okay, now I want to take and bring some of these down. Let's go just a little longer here first. Okay, now these kind of come down. Oh. It's so quiet. It's not like a typical workshop. How come there's not noise? Say something, somebody speak. I like it, Buck. Okay. Unmute that person. Okay, I better go down and touch these little spots that I put on. I don't know why you have that there. It's the wrong place. And this one too. You know, if I needed to get really rid of them, I'd wet this a little bit with medium, but I just blur it in. It'll be fine. Let's try some of this green that we put out front. Just roll it a little bit with the finger inside of a paper towel. Oh, stopping for a drink. Okay, now let's see what else we want to do. Oh, there's one little light that comes right behind here. I don't know why, but it does. We already have placed on the highlights here, but I took a little scrub. I took it's orange and red equal parts. Just mix it slightly like that and have it come down just a little bit out and a little bit towards this way. What about behind the ear? Yes, a light right there. Ooh, you got a good looking head. I do want to take some Van Dyke Brown, and I want to make this jaw just a little bit sharper so that it stands away from the background. And let's see, we could also take some of that Van Dyke Brown, and I have a round brush, and just, I don't know, you can't see much, but it does work. From so far away, maybe you can't see it, but I can see it. I'm only 16 inches away from the canvas. Oh. And you guys, I wish you'd consider the Alexander critiquing class that is held usually on Tuesday mornings. And when you do something, then you submit it, and I'll critique it. I find that I love to do the critiques. I feel confident in doing them, and it really is helpful. Okay, here's, and you can ask Sue on that. Oh gosh, our Sue Moline. She has just, she's just flying with goodness. Okay, so I'm going to go just a little darker along here. You don't see much happening, but you see a little bit there. And then we can have in here and a little bit down there. I do want to take just a little, the highlight color. This is the yellow ochre and white. And I'm taking the same round brush. I don't have a lot of paint on, but I want to go a little lighter here on this muscle. No, I don't remember the name of it. And down here, that gets a little width, which is nice. And down to the huck, is that called the huck? And let's go to the back legs. A little bit here. This is such a nice addition to that leg. And the leg in front of it gets just a little bit lighter here, and then a lighter there for that. I do find just a speck of light down here. The light's just hitting it. What about the front ones? They're pretty much silhouette. And see, I would have no problem just making this dark. You don't know if it's where the hoof ends or if it's shadow in the water from it. Okay, I'm going to take one little dark here. This is Van Dyke Brown. It'll just give that a little more strength right in there. What do you say? Just a little dark in here. It defines the muscles there slightly. And this has a little bit of an S shape like that. How did you learn all these things, Buck? Practice, practice, practice. This is the Van Dyke Brown and the red. Let's take a little bit of the Van Dyke Brown, and I don't really see it, but I think it might help if just a couple of these were a little darker. I think that horse up above is not waiting for you. He's waiting for me. I will hurry. So I'm going to try, I want to have a little stronger light on there. So let's take the white, and this time, instead of the yellow ochre, we'll take cad yellow. Boy, that is a lot of white. Let's see. No, I think I'll use it. So that's about 12 white, 1 yellow. Okay, now do your stuff. Remember, we talked about this needing to be lighter because the form is this way. It isn't just a top light. I'm going to put some of this up in there, down there. And I still, well, I wanted to put a little bit going back and just maybe a little bit. I kind of hesitate on doing as much light there as the original has. Oh, by the way, I never told you, Lori, but my Rocky Nook Park, it hasn't made the wall yet. Just a small thing, but it needs to be cared for. I don't know if we'll have time today or not, but oh, I could just in the answer period, I could just say it. Okay, this is just the yellow and white, just a little lighter.
Hey, Buck, if you don't have time today, you could do it on your on the Tuesday.
Okay. Oh, that would be great. Okay, let's call that one just about enough on you, big fella. Okay, so let's go up to the beautiful, I would say, mare. Are you a mare up there? If you're a mare, why is this guy down here? Ugh, I don't know. Must be leap year. Okay, let's go up to that. And I have burnt sienna. Sure you do. Where is it? It's over here. Burnt sienna straight. Oh, isn't that pretty already? And we won't get too detailed on this guy. We'll just, at least my plan is not to. Just kind of do it in boldly and broadly. Just get that chest out a little bit more. Raise up the hips slightly. Oh, that is so pretty. Thank you, Buck. You're welcome. Oh. And a little bit underneath there. See, I haven't detailed that much, and I won't. Let's come down just a little there like that. And what about the head? I have a feeling that I've picked up, this is the tan color that I put on the horse's darks. And I'm looking at maybe just a little red in it. So it's about equal parts. Now watch this. Just, oh, come on, I'm a house, so come on. Just a little, oh, like that. See, I don't have to do a lot of detail on that. I'm going to take, let's see, I have a little light, small brush, and I'm just wondering if I can take some of my, let's see, this is yellow ochre and white. I'm just thinking if I have a little kind of a diamond there. That's good. How do you draw a diamond? Well, you make it carefully. Oh, beautiful. Then we'll go just a little lighter down at the end, down here. And a little there. follow me. I can see this horse quit drinking and following up the road. Just maybe just a small amount of burnt sienna just down here, so this isn't quite as light as the other side. Gee, you're pretty. I didn't know you were going to be that pretty, but thank you. So what you have, we have, oh, that's great. We got about 17 minutes left. Let's bring this chest out just a little bit more on this horse. And I always like, this is a muscle right here. Does that show up enough? Yeah, I think so. And let's take that color and let's put just a little bit back here. I wonder why I'm putting more red in the burnt sienna.
Hey, Buck, Lindy has a question. Go ahead, Lindy.
Uh-oh.
Not uh-oh. I'd like to see you darken his ears just slightly so that they stand out more. Then we'll see his head. Then we'll see his head nicely.
The distant horse?
Yes.
Coming up. That's a nice valuation. Particularly when I went darker here and darker there. They look good to start with, but you are so right. Thank you. You're welcome. Oh, do I have to say everything? Yeah, I think that'll work, and we'll let.
They look stunning.
See, that was a plant. That was something. She gave me something easy to do, and it'd make me look good. That is so great. Okay, just a little reddish on the rump. Then you feel it's being lit slightly, and I guess now down front, maybe a little reddish in here. And a little bit on there. And then it probably just a little bit of the green just to kind of come against that slightly. This is the sap green. It separates the horse from the horse. From the horse, of course. Carol, is Doug still watching? You don't have to answer. Stay muted. That's all right. She may have left the room. Buck, I've seen enough of you. 32 years. Where is my little fan brush? Oh, here you are. I'm going to come just on the edge now. Let's, I have sap green. And this is the fan brush. And how I preach to so many people is the edges of trees need to kind of respond to what's happening out in the distance. So if that's there, just a little bit of this will help. This is a little reddish. It doesn't have to be strong. But even in its insignificant application, I want you to notice how here and there you can see the sky coming through, so it's not just all solid. Okay, let's go over to the big tree, and with this, oh, I don't like what I just did there. I'm taking a little orange and white with my good brush. more, 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 more. It looks all right. Okay, let's come over to the big tree, and we have on the brush just a little bit of the reddish. The burn from the sun. But do it gently. Gee, it can be carried away if it's not too much. And even a little bit over in here, kind of blue skies over there, but just a little of the influence of that. And I'm going to take some sap green and yellow ochre. It looks like 2 sap green, 1 yellow ochre, and coming over here to put just a little lighter light down there. And I'll just come down a little bit into that area. What it'll do, it'll get rid of that sharp contrast against the tail and give a little more unity. This light, it's pretty hard to explain. I wonder if I take it down just a little bit, but don't lose it. And then the other thing I noticed, the bottom of this, what do I want done there? My first thought is, I don't know. So let's see, blue, are you here? Yes, let's take some phthalo blue. And my thinking is, if I can do it, I don't want it to look like water, but I want to have something that adds to the painting. That looks like water. Okay, sap green and phthalo blue, equal parts. So it has just a little flavor of the green and blue in it. And when I put it down here, then I'm looking up to this area. See, I don't want the tail to lead you down there. I don't mind this one because, and when I say I don't mind it, I did go across it just a little bit. Okay, let's come over to the left. Okay, I'm going to just finish this aspect, and then we'll open up for any questions. Now, I'm not saying that this is going to the wall yet. I don't know. I'll have to study and look at it like I did on Rocky Nook Park. Just a little higher over there. And this going like that will help where your eye goes up to the horse and it doesn't go off there. So let's just a little darker here. This is the green Van Dyke brown. Don't get off my horse. I kind of feel like, let's see, what did I have? I have sap green. Oh, just a little bit in here. Was it? Oh, that was phthalo blue and sap green. Good. Same way here. It makes the tail very important, but it protects that side of the canvas, so your eye goes up around there. So I would call that a stopping place and to be evaluated.